Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. I'm your host Tony and I hope you're having an amazing week. It's almost Christmas, which is the big day. As we all know, my puppy Summer will have her first birthday on Christmas Day. So I'm doubly excited than usual for the Christmas day and the Christmas period all together, because we've been going through the advent of Svelte, going through a few challenges there that have inspired some creativity from my side, some curiosity journeys. Today we'll be doing drag and drop with Svelte and accordions or collapsibles with Svelte as well. If you want to check out what we've done so far, you can always go to the link in the description. The source code as well is open source and free for you. You can check it out and you can just click around. For example, you can go and play the toughest game of memory in existence, because the admin of Svelte team, the Svelte Society team, has kindly provided the faces for this game, and they are very tough to remember, I would say. And also, it's 24 pairs, so this is probably the longest possible game of memory, or almost the longest possible, almost a full deck of cards. And like the faces look like something you've never seen before. Or I guess even worse, they look kinda like what you've seen. It's like, this looks kinda like an 8, but it's not an 8. So it's very tricky. And sadly, I didn't have the time to have an end screen, like a victory screen, fanfare, confetti, when you do finish. So it's only for you, like, you know, you went through it and you managed to beat the game, and that's about it. But I've done all the challenges as well, some on the stream, some offline. Morse code translator was kind of fun. Because, well, I actually mapped out things from letters to Morse code, which I hadn't done before, but also got to play with the audio context API. So this should play a sound if your device supports it. And that was fun to do as well. But quite a few challenges. I tried to solve them in ways I wouldn't usually solve them in real life when trying to build actual product, because I do think these challenges are a way to learn something new, or to fine-tune something you kinda know, or re-examine what you already think you know, that sort of thing. So countdown, I don't know what I re-examined there. I guess how to work with dates in 2023. Definitely not Moment.js. Pop-up. I've definitely done quite a lot of urgency and exit pop-ups for a living, so I didn't want to have this pop-up without user interaction, for sure. But that was fun to do. We used Melt UI as our helper here to do the pop-up functionality, and we will be using Melt UI for the second challenge of the day. Anything else that was fun? Else name generator, everything was fun, to be honest. But today we'll be trying to make a customizable card. And maybe 10 years ago is the last time I did something like this, where you could upload your image and print it on a mug or a t-shirt or something like that. And I'd imagine that the best way to do this still would be to use Canvas. And that would give a lot of functionality to the user to put the image as they want it, transform it, scale it up, down, place it exactly where they want. So we're not going to do that. Let me know in the comments if there is an actual better way to do this. What I really want to play with is specifically the dragging and dropping and reordering of objects. So we are going to download all the images that the Svelte Society team has kindly provided for us. We will give them to the user to drag and drop to a card, but it will be like a grid system, and they'll just be messing around with which images they want to use and their order, but not necessarily do like anything fancy with the patterns, which I'd imagine would be better UX, but then again, we're doing this to learn something. And I haven't done drag and drop much, I think, to reorder lists and that sort of thing. I've mostly done it with the classic example of file transfers and stuff, where you have a drop zone and you put in your image and that sort of thing. So it will be fun to tackle it this way, I think. And then we also have the Load Balancer 2.0 tool, where we will be using accordions. I guess each challenge is within an accordion. And maybe they're using Melt UI as well, Self Society. But we'll see if it's actually going to be an accordion and then all the other ones close and the whole div changes, or it's just going to be like a little parcel package that you click to expand and see all the items. We'll see, but we'll get to that challenge. First challenge is this. We'll have a blank card, we'll have a few images, let's drag and drop the images to the card, use them many times or fewer times, reorder them as you see them, maybe add a text message. I don't really know. The cool thing about this is setting myself time limits of how much time do I want to spend to over-engineer. The deck of doubles, for example, even though I've done a memory game before, took a long time, and that's why I decided to end it without victory screens and stuff. We can work on it if you'd like. Let me know what you'd like to see from me, and for you to keep watching. But my plan for today is drag and drop. So drag and drop, you definitely need it when it comes to file transfers, even though there is some functionality native to the browser, like the user can theoretically hit your file input and get their job done, or they can select and browse their directories and select their files themselves. But it's always more fun to drag and drop things. Since Windows 95, at least, like people were becoming used to drag and drop. So that's the experience that you'll want to recreate in your app. Have the ability for people to drop something in another place and your app to not break. And it's commonly used for priority lists. So if you have like a link in bio tool like Linktree, you'd often have the user be able to click around their Instagram profile and reorder it over their TikTok profile or their byline or whatever else. It's a nice UX to be able to drag and drop something to reorder it instead of just clicking a button to go up and down. Behind the scenes, maybe you're just storing an order value, but for the user, like, they don't need to know this, they don't need to mess with the arrows, they just want to drag and drop. So that's the utility of what we'll be trying to get to grips with today. So hello and welcome. We've said greetings and salutations. Let's get it on. We will need a new route for this. We're getting there, quite a few routes existing already. And we'll add one more. Let's say that this is gonna be like it's two emojis put together for the Elrond elf. If you delete one, you get the baby elf. It's kind of neat. Ligatures, I think they're kind of called even in the emoji context. Anyway, card. This looks like a card. Like Christmas card. Sure. Business card as well. And this one. Why not? We could call it Hallmark card. We've added it in our list of links. That's a 404. As we know, at this point, we need to reflect the path that the user should be visiting in our directory structure in the app. Inside routes, source routes, we should have a Christmas card directory, and that should have a page.ts and page.svelte and that sort of thing. Actually, delete this, because what I've been doing, since we've done this for so long, I've just been copying one other route that we have. So just copy that one, call it Christmas card, delete this, pretend this never happened. If you have many routes already, you can try to think what's the most similar page that you have and just copy that over, and saves you a lot of boilerplate. So this is actually doing like quite a lot of things. So maybe we won't want to do. And here we can just say season's greetings. And delete everything, I guess, for now. Everything else. No need for all of this. No need for this. We can go to the backend, the load method. Maybe we'll make this work with URL parameters, so someone can copy and paste the link they've ended up with and send you that, and then you feel nice. They don't have to print it out. So we will keep the load method. Also, because that's a metadata that we always provide here. Personalize a seasonal greeting card with a variety of images and your own jolly message. We may not do any of this depending on how long this takes us, but we can hope, we can aim high. Drag and drop the images. We could have like a share URL and that sort of thing, share threads. The threads API I hear is in business now. But unlikely we'll do it today. Let's set expectations. I don't think we'll want to use a name for this. I'm not sure. We'll over-engineer this later. So what am I imagining here? Imagine a section where you have like all the images. It's gonna be an array of something, we'll see. Let's call them stickers, like stickers you can put on the card. And then you'll have the actual greeting card. And that should be like a grid. It should have a set aspect ratio, I guess. Can I have a class of aspect 1:1 square? Sounds reasonable. And let's say BG white, BG gray, like 50 type of thing. And the height, and the width. Doesn't seem to be quite working. I will reload the server because sometimes still Windows flip out. I don't know when, but sometimes it just refuses to update. Oh well. Min height, max height. Let's see if I just say full width, it will work enough. Great. And we can customize this with user selected styles. We can have a color picker and stuff. I think that's more important than something else. Some other feature creeping we're talking about. But we'll see. And should it literally be square? Like no rounding. Rounding is in. In Battlestar Galactica, every piece of paper has these round corners, no edges. I don't know how we evolved to that, or devolved to that, but that's how it was, not so. Alright, so thankfully, for this thing to load these images, I've done something. And I can reuse it now. So let's see what I've done. In theory, I've used the globe import in the card component. It's coming back to me to get all the card face images that I had in a folder. And I'm importing them like that to also use the image enhance image, Svelte enhancements, the new package that is also wrapping our images in a picture element, providing different resolution sizes, that sort of thing. So that's how I did it then, and that's kind of the thing we'll be doing now, I suppose. But one of the questions is, should I create a separate component already? Probably. So all of this could be its own section, I guess. What do we call it? Maybe greeting card customizer. Wizard. More seasonal to say wizard. So I guess it's in this component. Center and here. Let's not give it anything. And let's create script tag, AppScript script tag, and paste in the code for card faces, but they're actually going to be stickers. And I guess I'll put them in stickers, PNG. And then we'll do stuff with them. But it's not going to find anything here because we have nothing. Let's make a directory wizard. Actually call this component wizard. Even though it's not a wizard, it doesn't go like step by step. It still does magic, so I'm gonna call it like that. So the wizard component, and create like a stickers directory here. And update this to import this correctly. And we're back in business. And now it's time for the exciting functionality. Exciting streaming time of me downloading all the images they've provided. So I think there are like 12. Yeah. So let's get to it, I suppose. Needs to be done. It's going to be riveting. Perfect time to catch up with the chat. If you have anything to ask, anything to say, what you're working on. Does this have like a sneaky little artifact here? I just hope they have transparency. They are PNC, so I'm hopeful. They are varying heights as well. Seems like they may have been part of like a big sticker part and just cropped. Maybe we'll add our own one day. The varying widths, the varying sizes altogether does make me think that would be a better idea to use canvas for this, of course. But that's not the point. The point is to figure something out. Alright, so now I should be able to find the directory we're working on, which should be routes, Christmas card, wizard, and get all of these nice images. Drag and drop. Hey, that's what we're doing today. Drag and drop, math with JavaScript. And now, I suppose this will find all the images we have here, the RPNCs, and we could say for each of them, we want to have a list element. Needs to be object entries. I know it's the file paths, and I'm not going to use the file paths, so it should be object values. I think that Vit will return this as an object that has the matched path and then the imported module that we're eagerly importing. So that's nice. And yeah. It'd be nice if we had descriptions for these images. I guess we could, instead of doing the magic import here, we could have a record and explain what its image is. But for MVP, this should be fine. Let's see. All right, we got them. They look quite dirty, sadly. We could use some cleanup. But hey, maybe that makes it like look more homely. Maybe. So for those to look nicer, I guess let's make this a grid local. Is that what I want? I guess so. That may actually be good enough. And what I want is to drag and drop this here, and then they will start appearing. So that's my plan for today. My plan is revealing itself. So we've rendered the stickers, and next we're gonna do the draggable thing. I think they're gonna be draggable by default, but maybe I'm gonna make the list item draggable. Just in case. Hey Paul, nice to see you in the chat. Yeah, my devious plot all along was to drop these things here. And I think we'll have a read on how the draggable property and onDraggable, or whatever the onDrag start. There are some methods that we're going to be using. Oh, like this one. And they say they have an example as well. Some elements, like images, are draggable by default. Some other things are not. Like, what do I have an example here? So now it gets the link instead of the SVG. for example. So I'm not sure if I'll try to get the picture element or whatnot. We'll see. I'm thinking that maybe I'll make its link draggable. Which shouldn't change anything. And we still get the preview here. And we can say on drag start. Console log and see what we got here. Yeah, drag event, great. And then I imagine we need to handle this in our card here, card section. So on drag end, maybe what we want. Could we drag enter even? Because maybe we want to show like a preview of where it's gonna fall. Did you say they have a comprehensive example here? So let's see. And also they can make this works like data transfers as well. So we can actually say that we can pass around the image source. Here, I'm not sure. Like, and we can also pass stringified JSON objects here. So we'll see how we'll actually do it. Recommended drag types. Direct image dragging is not common. Alright, so we'll probably not do it like that. We'll do it in a different way. Hey Level, nice to see you here. I hope we'll make something fun today. So I am thinking about the drop target here, of course. So on drag over, maybe we want to do something. But what we really want is the on drop. And then we can get the data here. All right, that's starting to make sense to me. Do drop, what's this? And then they have drag end. All right, so it seems like if we just say on drop here, then we'll be able to console log something. So let's see. I'm grabbing this, I'm getting the event, I'm dropping it here. Nothing is happening. Is it a different type of handler? Where are they attaching this handler? Is it not on drop? It looks like it is. Nothing about area roles either. Area role for drop zone. Definitely used React drop zone before. So they're saying that we should make it be a button. Interesting. Doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe we need to specify the top index actually. So this kind of led us somewhere. Let's see. That's correct. It wasn't. One that cancelled the last. Why did it say cancelled? I guess maybe they need a drag enter event. Or drag over. Yeah, we need a drag enter or drag over. Right. We need to cancel the default operation for that to happen. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe we can say drag enter prevent default, and that's just gonna do it. Not quite. Should we manually do it? We need some more disk space for that. Let's clear some stream records. Maybe randomly clear those. Hit for the stream to fail for no good reason. You need to do it on both. Alright, well, we're learning something. Alright, it actually worked. So maybe we don't need these for now. And that indeed does work. So we have a console log when we start dragging any one of these stickers. And we have another console log when we drop it to this area. And the pickup was easy. We just say on drag start after setting draggable to true explicitly. MDN said you shouldn't do this. It's bad. You should explicitly set this to true if something is draggable. And for the drop to work, we needed to prevent default on both the drag ender and the drag over. But Svelte has like a handy shorthand to prevent default if that's all you need to do. So you don't have to do it on the handler. And then on drop, we're console logging. So we can see here something is happening. And my plan is for this component, I guess, to have a store or a record of sorts, like an array of how many things have been dropped, how many images have been dropped, where, and render them. So it starts with 0 and then there's no stickers. But then, as you drop them, you render more stickers. So let's try to make that. So selected stickers. Say that this is an array, and maybe even So now this eager import makes me think, is that really what we want? Can we pass the whole sticker there? All these enhanced image, which isn't exactly what they are. And we'll see if that actually works. Let's say that this is an array of enhanced images. And in this section, we want to each enhanced image as image, and then do the same thing, I guess, for now. Just render them inside divs, just in case. Let's say that this is a string array and pretend that this is actually just a string source, as sources normally are, but I think enhanced image does something else here. So yeah, what should I actually call this? Selected card stickers, why not? So for each one of those, let's render it in here. And now all we need is on drag start to set the data to be this, the source of the image. And prevent default maybe. So let's see how we can do that. Start. Is this gonna be plain text? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but we'll find out. So let's say we want to do that. No comment here. Let's see if that breaks to start with. Maybe. Oh, it's not showing the image anymore. Is it like breaking? Let's see what is sticker default anyway. Don't think it's plain text. Yeah, it's JSON thingy. So, but I remember the problem was that this flips out because this should be like string or undefined. So I don't want to just ignore too many things, but clearly this is what we're getting. number w number source string, and this has a with string. Copilot had my back there, almost. All right, and this. This will complain. Well, that's fine. Just ignore it for now. Think about it later. And we know that this we want to say some stringify now. This is kind of like the sticker import. And after all that, we can get the data somewhere. Let's quickly check. Like, is the prevent default the thing that makes the overlay not appear? Yeah. Hopefully the data transfer still happens, but we'll see. I wouldn't want to recreate that effect. So we've done the prevent defaults, and we can get the data. So on our on drop, maybe we want to prevent default. We want to get the data, prevent. Sticker is that. Let's see, if no data, return. Or else our sticker is this, and then I guess all we need to do is add this to our existing stickers. The column card stickers. And let's see if this will just work. All right, this is one of those moments where it could be epic. Nailed it. Hold for applause. Hey, you're getting too big here. But hey, the idea is correct. Nice. All right, time to style this, I suppose. We may need to solve this thing later. We have the aspect square, but it doesn't care. All right, so we have like lost a few of these. That's fine. Right, this ignore also doesn't work, but hey. I think with Svelte you need to say something in line here for the compiler to not complain. Or like complainer. Got him. So what do we want? I want some nice alignment for these stickers. And for that, like, what are the valid area roles, by the way? Not button. Banner. Region? Oh, but that's the default for sections. Why are you complaining? Just make it a div and move on with my life? No. Development, that has no special meaning. Oh well, this is my drop reason, so that's what I'm gonna keep here. And what I want is for this to be a grid. Maybe grid flow columns and see what happens. Grid flow call. Isn't not exactly what we expected. Will you ever wrap? Probably not. So should I just say how many I want? How many rows do we want? How do we want to do this? I have been watching binging a lot of Critical Role, which may explain how you want to do this. So that's kind of fun. I guess. Can you keep going? Not really. So this would be the max length, like 4 rows. And we can make this like kinda programmatic, like you don't need to fill this. Maybe it will be like bigger or smaller, depending on how many items you have. Is this just too complicated? Maybe the idea is to fill it as much as you like. And that's it. I don't know why this breaks it more. It does feel like it's time for like custom CSS. An example here. Let's just try the grid flow row. Let's just put it in the center. That's kind of nice, I guess. Not as nice. getting nicer again. If you have an even number, then it's kind of nice. I should do something to start from the same place, which is something that I did want to do. Anyway, okay, this doesn't look that bad. Maybe that's what we want. And then we can have a custom greeting as well. But also we were saying that maybe we want to easily allow this to be reordered and have like a trash bin icon or something. That could be nice. So, for my life to be easier, we should have like some way of tracking the state that persists across reloads, and we can do this with URL primes. And maybe we could just be storing the indices. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So maybe we can say that the image imports are this object entry thing, object values thing. And then iterate through that. Should have no difference. Fine. But we can say that the card sticker indices is just a number array. And then all we do here is just have this be the index. We can still like JSON parse it. We really want to complicate things. Maybe not. But now the data we can just parse int to them, and the card sticker indexes can be what they were before plus the new index we just got. And then maybe we can also calculate this with a magic dollar. And say that what is card stickers? Yeah. We can map through the card sticker indices and then get this thing, like the default export here. And then it will just work the same, but we're more able to put this as a query parameter. So my plan is to have like a selected stickers. Just selected, and that's going to be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that sort of thing. That would make sense. But do we want to submit a form every time this happens? Maybe not, but not sure. Would we want to submit a form every time this happens? Probably not. But let's see. The first thing I'm thinking of is if I am on Christmas card, selected like 5, 6. I want to start with this Jolly Santa. If I go to this page exactly. How would that work? Maybe I can get the page store. Page URL, search params, get all selected. And map number, so it's going to be numbers. And indeed, it starts with like the 7th one. We missed off by 1. Classic. Classic problem. That made me chuckle. What if I say select comma 8? Yeah, that's not a real thing. But what if I say 6 and selected equals 8, the other way to do this? Yeah, so that's gonna work. But dropping this doesn't update the URL. So when this happens, do I just want to navigate, I guess, like to client-side navigate? I think so. So go to is a thing. And here, URL set params have selected sticker index to string. And then you go to this new URL and you can await it even. And will this just work? It's like redundant role, region, I know, but if I don't give it, it's flipping out. Oh well. Alright, so this kind of worked. Not really. It's navigating. It's navigating. But this is not updating. I guess this at this point should also be derived. Yeah, but I'm not setting like multiple parameters, so it's always replacing the existing one. So that's a bit underwhelming. Is there a set all? Do I like this? Is the other question that I have. Should I just replace the URL? I think this is a read-only store, so I can't do anything naughty. Let's see, so I'll get add search param to URL without navigating. All the hacky ways to do it. You're saying just do this instead of your crazy things. Sure. So instead of doing this, let's see. I guess we could update it before. Not sure. Spread them in this, and then selected would be this, joined by commas. Did we say that commas are not going to work? I think we did. Man. First one works, then it becomes nan. Oh no, it's joined by commas, as we said, but we don't want them to be joined by commas. We want it to be joined by all of this, so that's what we need to do, and join them with ampersands. Excellent query params is gonna be this map index selected equals index, and then all of these we're gonna join with ends. Not quite. So try harder. Oh. What's the question mark there? All right, it's gonna work. We just need to stop the navigation from doing this thing. And we're kinda good to go. And in theory, we can have like text elements and say, hey, you can drag and drop the text elements too. Wouldn't that be neat? Can we replace? What else can we do here? Replace it through. Just to see what happens. We still navigate, so we don't really want this. Right, navigation is fine, but what we want is for most things to persist, I suppose. Maybe all things persist, to be honest. So let's see which other page we can get inspiration from. We are in this is greetings one, this component. And I want to say, open a style tag. And steal all of these, and that's it. And we can say that our main tag in this case has a view transition name of card, greeting card, and then we have the greeting card slide in only when it's not already on the page. So it still slides in, but doesn't slide in when we add elements to it. And we get the nice cross dissolve, which is kinda neat. Unexpected bonus. So yeah, no way to clear or undo. And we haven't done the reordering, but maybe this is enough for now. Like we can do like a preview or something, but that's not MVP. We can do like a quick clear. Like have a button here. Say that on click, prevent default, why not? Go to maybe we can do like our selected trick. Just page URL path name. Yeah, it's just go there. Don't worry too much about it. Clears everything, scrolls us up, back up. Looks nice to me. All right. We got somewhere. So let's save this, and I can imagine that we're gonna make this much better. We can be handling the drag over event, which we're not handling now, and be checking where exactly we're hovering over, and then say, oh, you're gonna put it in here, like in between those elements, and show a little preview and actually show it like this, because now you can only put it on the end. So no need to drag and drop really, like just clicking these should be enough to add them. I think maybe we could also do that. So maybe this could be a method. Sticker to card method. Index, it's going to be a number. Then we do all of this. Didn't quite work. Oh. Index. Can we stick it? Right, so it works the same, but in theory, like even when we click this, maybe this is a button. I'll just quickly check. Just clicking it, adds it. Sure, great. But does it add it twice when we drag and drop? No, it doesn't count as a click. Great. And now, like, you can tab to the stickers and do that. So that's sweet. We can have kinda clear. Should we be giving those a bit of padding? Much padding. Forget about it. Should these have like just a bit of padding? I think so. The card does become too big. I am thinking that maybe the card, like max 8, should be 50, the small viewport height. Aspect ratio not respected. If we do it like that, what happens? Oh, that's cute. That's nice. So now all we need is MX Auto, maybe? Yeah. That's in the middle. Looks nice and cute. We can add items. Now where do we add the no scroll? Is it on the button? Let's see. Oh, it's on the go-to, right? The go-to method. Let's say that we don't scroll and we keep focus, so we see what we clicked. Nice. But clicking start over does scroll us up. Well, maybe actually the height should be this big. Now that I think about it. Let's say that the height is this big. Problem solved. All right, we got somewhere. We got somewhere. Guess on bigger screens we could make these drop on the side, and then it's nicer to drag and drop. But I don't particularly want to do it now. Or do I? Like, I'm always up for some extra JavaScript magic. So maybe I do want this to be like a grid. Then some resolutions, we can say grid calls 2, 3. And this, on some resolutions, call span 2. So this drops, which is nice, but not exactly what I wanted. We can call this unassigned too. And in that case, like one LT, grid calls 3. Can I remove grid flow or something? It's not. What if I don't do grid flow here? Guess that's what I get. Can this be just a div? What if this is not grid? Of course, because it's list items. What if it's a flex container? All right. So it's a flex container that becomes a grid container. Is it grid calls? I guess so. Maybe 4. And maybe place item center. I can't resist a CSS rabbit hole, that's for sure. But yeah, I'd say this looks decent. I'd print this out and write the methods here on the other side. I think that's kind of cute. Yeah, yes, this should also have a limit because we have too many things here. Keyboard navigation also works. And yeah, you can make this, then WhatsApp this to your friend and they can see the card. We could also make a dedicated route where they can only see the card. And we could even make an open graph style image with Satori that renders all these images. But yeah, over engineering, I'd say, something for the future. If you think that's cool and we should do it, let me know and I will do it. But if not, I think I will commit this. Well, I'll definitely commit this and probably move on to the load balancer. Any remaining console logs? No? Wait. Add greeting card. But yeah, lots of things to do. Like I should be able to remove these without clearing everything, reorder them, add the message. But we've already been on this for over an hour. And I would like to do one more challenge. Oof. I did have some in the plans, like reorder the images. So depending on how the next challenge goes, maybe we'll get back to that and try to do the reordering. Interesting how my screen share hasn't gone back to this. Oh well, didn't want to spend some time on Saturn, but I guess we're going back to it. Let's see. So let's see what exactly they want here. We have made this load balancer earlier where we got all presents that need to be delivered, or a symbol of the presents that need to be delivered, and then we'd manually select which ones we're gonna pick on a trip. This is another instance of something we could be styling much better, like even the checkboxes are not on brand. And then we check whether we're over the limit or not, and get an appropriate message. And you get a special message if you actually nail 100 exactly. So from what I understand, this challenge is hit the API, get 10,000 presents for 10,000 children with 10,000 potentially different weights, and have the tool auto balance them. So Santa and the elves get this readout from the tool, and they know, all right, pack this, and for this trip, this is what you're putting on the sleigh, and it's gonna be the optimal way. So no traveling salesman stuff. We don't need to map the route of Santa, because I guess he instantly makes it to chimneys. I don't know how Santa magic works. But the idea is, like, the sleigh is not that magic. It can only handle a specific amount of weight. So technology is gonna help Santa out on this. And the load, do they repeat the load? Is it still 100 kilos? Right, so it may be similar to this, but probably not, and we'll also be using Melt UI, because what I'm thinking is that we'll hit that API, get the 10,000 presents, and then probably use a collapsible component like this, which will have like some of the info of like a trip, but then you can expand it and see exactly all the presents that are in there. And that's the idea. That's my vision for this solution. So let's get to it. And I don't think these are 10,000 presents, but we can definitely copy that route. So let's go to our root page. Add the new one. Scale for Libra. So it's going to be similar to that one. Call it auto balancer. And we're going to be copying a lot from this route, but I think I will take a short break to refill. Let me know in the chat if you have any other thoughts. So we'll be copying this balancer, this new route, right after this break. And we're back. All right, so load balancer time. The first part, which is splitting the presence into the best loadouts, I don't think we'll do anything too clever there, because I do think the thing that I really want to play with and show is the accordion type of collapsible expandable functionality, because that's always useful, that's always something people want, but can be tricky. We could also do it accordion style, but I don't like the varied width of an accordion for this use case, at least, where we'll have like 1,000 groupings or something, 100 groupings. And there is an accordion component now, but it doesn't animate, like not even the arrows, and that's what we really want. So they made the accordion component, but it's not animatable, so we're like, we're not gonna use it. So we said we're gonna copy the balancer out from this one. And create the auto balancer out. And now, and here I guess we're doing quite a lot in just this one component. Auto load balancer. And we may have like some stats and stuff. But really, what we want is suggested grips. Like this is the section that we want. Or suggested loadouts, really. No styling for now, no forms. Not much interactivity to start with. And we can have like some stats up there eventually. But we don't want this, we don't want this, we don't want this. And on our server load method, we're going to be fetching presence again. We'll create a new method for this one. The best loadout possible to maximize gift delivery as few trips as possible. I don't know why I'm SEOing this. I guess I like writing. Right, so we have this fetch presence method, but I'm gonna copy it and fetch presence for load balancer. And I guess the interface is the same. It's just that this endpoint is gonna have more children. The endpoint is day 13. From 3 to 13, that's a happy coincidence. We can export this. So in this load method, use fetch presence for load balancer. Yes. And then we'll need to put them in parcels or loadouts, I suppose. Let's hit those APIs to see, are they different? So this has like a ton. We can see here, it's quite a big scroll bar. The 3.1 is different. The scroll bar is not as big, so it does seem it's a different endpoint for sure, with much fewer presence. And now that we have the presence, I guess we want loads. So I'm imagining at some point, let's do it on the backend. So we'll have like loadouts, and then each loadout will have an array of presence. But each one could have like some stats too. So I'm trying to think of an interface. So it will have presence for sure. It will have a weight. That's a good idea. It will have. Can it have anything else? Yes, not really. We have the amount of presence because we have all the presence. We can do length of this array. Have the weight, like the names are going to be different. I think that's fine. So this will be a loadout array. So it's going to be an array of things of like presence. Then it's present. It's going to be like name. Well, wait, 1. Should be total weight or weight. Yeah, weight. That's consistent. Let's see, weight is 3. Because it's gonna have another one. Whole. Weight of 2. And I guess, much like we have like the length of the array, like we could just add up all the weights here, but maybe it's handy. Not sure. What else could we have? Like, is it just the loadout? That's the presence? Is the loadout just a presence? Sorry. Maybe. Yeah, we wouldn't want the front end to calculate this, so let's have the backend do it. That's my reasoning. Well, a length of an array is easy to do. You don't need to loop. All right, I've convinced myself. I am going to return the loadouts here. And then here, I want to do its data loadouts. I'll have a little div for it. Yeah, let's say weight. All right. So if we don't split the presence, if we just map them, or reduce them, or what do we do? I think we do like the most naive way that I can think of is to just keep adding things, and if we've gone over the limit, then like we stop. So let me reduce this. So the loadouts will actually be presence reduced, and in the end I do want a loadout, and I'll have the accumulator and then the present, and I'm gonna be returning something, and this starts as an array. Great, and maybe it starts as an array with like presents, empty array, and weight 0. So that's getting us somewhere. But of course, just return the accumulator to start with. This should be an array. All right. And here, what is it saying here? Did like reduce, not take this? Is that what they're saying? What's happening? Let's type this. Is this? Oh, it's a bit happier. And now, what do I want to do? I want to see if the accumulator, so the current present. Yeah, exactly. And we can say max load weight, max sleigh load weight is 100 in kilos. So if the current weight plus the current presence weight is less or equal, then we want accumulator, like the current one, push the current present and also update the weight. Else, we want to push a new array of things to the accumulator. The presence is going to start with this present, the weight is going to be this weight, and perfect loads will be 0. And I guess if this is exactly 100, or the max lay load, then the perfect loads goes up by 1. And that's it. Nailed it. So that's like a naive but probably good enough implementation where we won't be looking ahead if there are like other presents that can be added to this. But that's probably the most time I'm willing to spend on this. And it looks like it's like good enough. It's not like one kid gets a piano and then you waste a trip with something that has just 15 kilos and the piano is like 90 kilos afterwards by itself. So they didn't try to trick us too hard. It seems like we haven't gotten any perfect loads. Oh well. That's the basic idea of accomplishing this. Now what remains is to style this better. So how would we style this better? We can say the weight. Maybe it can be the presence parentheses. Weight. The weight can be a number format. I think we have somewhere here. Let's copy that formatter. This is one of the nice reasons to have like one repo that has all the silences. We can keep reusing stuff, and if we manage to like make something else better, we can go back and our previous solution becomes better. All right. And I imagine we'll have a button for like a details array, and then we do our collapsible, and then we go home. What did I do to group these columns in the other balancer? Remember, I had some CSS here. style. And we can go give it to this one. And we should do something so presence will always be on the same line. All right, not too bad for now. But then we'll click one and it will have like a million things. I'm not sure about that. Let's do the accordion stuff and worry about it later. So Mask UI. How do you do this? Quite a pleasing icon. So this is always visible, I guess, and then it has another area. Ooh, nested. No. What is it? What is the other area? Here. Absolutely positioned. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. 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 How does that work? So this Melt UI is always visible. Where is it? It's here. And then it's like we have 3 more. And it's to an absolute center position in somewhere else. Is there the instructions better? I think I kind of get it. So let's do this. Should we put it in a different file? Nah. This page doesn't have too much complicated stuff. So we'll be using these icons. Maybe we will. Let's create a component. Loadouts. Svelte. Copy everything. This is going to be getting loadouts. Now that's going to be loadouts. Did I export this? The server method. Loadout array. And we'll only do this stuff, this div. So save this and go to our plus page. Forget this ever happened with this page. It's another page. So these guys, delete them. These guys, delete them. and bring in the loadout component. You can do it, Svelte. You can auto import this. You can find it. Look, it's here. Oh well, doesn't want to help. And we want to give it loadouts equals data loadouts. Looks the same. This is what we want. But now we're gonna do the melt UI stuff. Am I really gonna copy all of this? I guess so. Do I need a separate collapsible for each one? Ah, maybe it was like a different level. That I need to do this actually. Whoops. Oh well, now that we're here. Now that we're in the dance, we're gonna dance, as we say in Greek. So this can be pretty much everything we got here. Copy button right here, pro tip. And we're not gonna use this. And this is gonna be our root, and it's going like tons of crazy things. And this can be just an X. And this can be an array. And let's see how this looks. And we can export let loadout. It's a single loadout. From here. And we can say that our loadouts are rendering these guys. Oh, of course. All right, we're getting somewhere. Oh, interesting. Will they be taking that much space regardless? That's inconvenient. Maybe I do want an accordion, if that's the case. Well, let's see. What did we have before? We had this div, which is fair enough. And we do want, by default, well, to use this div, really. Say that this is the mount UI root. That's fair enough. And maybe make it relative. But the other things, maybe we don't need. The formatter we can steal. Steal from here. starting to look like something. And then, so kind of interesting. This had a specific width and height. Interestingly enough. Which I'm not sure about. I think this is correct. And then we can put this in its own div just to see what happens. Nothing. And then this is their complicated button. Which we can slide out from there. And we don't want it like in absolute center, so maybe that class, like, forget this ever happened. Where do we want this button? We do probably want it in here with the loadout. Tips everywhere. So this can be flex item center. Are we getting somewhere? When would this be disabled? Not sure. Hey Sam, nice to see you again in the comments. You're claiming you're amazed. Is there one golden strategy I use for being so productive? Well, I'm not sure if I'm being productive in the streams, but in real life I do use the Pomodoro method quite often, which does help me. There are quite a few different tools that you can use for this, and you can see that I even used it for the previous challenges, actually. But it helps me move on to the next task or wrap up. So if I think that, all right, I'm going to spend like 1 hour max on this, I know that if I do 2 Pomodoros and it's not looking like there's progress, then I really need to start cutting corners and deliver something. And yeah, in general, always have a plan. If you have a plan and you know what to do, spend more time thinking of the plan and what you're going to do than the solution afterwards, than executing. Like prepare and plan, and then execution is easier. So those are the 2 tips. Pomodoro or something like that does help me when I'm into a rabbit hole. Like the break makes me snap out of the rabbit hole and take a 5-minute break, like pet my puppy Summer for a bit, make some coffee, go for a walk, and then with a fresh mind I can tackle the same problem and I'll be able to solve it much easier. It may come to me as I'm on my walk or something. It just helps you get out of a rut if you're in a rut. So those would be like my top 2 tips. Have a plan before you start coding, if it's related to coding, and make sure to take breaks, because sometimes you'll be zoomed in to an approach that may not be the best. And if you take some fresh air, you'll have some fresh resolve to keep being productive. Because if you are doing something and it's hard, like it doesn't feel pleasant, that's when you get the burnout and you want to do something completely different. So don't push yourself to the edge. And thanks for the compliments again. I'm a big fan of pair programming for sure. I don't know what the CTFS stands for, but many years ago now, I had a CDO who was big on pair programming and XP, and I got bought into that as well. And I will do traditional pair programming as well, where like I write the test, then you implement, then you write the test, and then I implement, and it's quite fun, but it's hard to do in the streaming setup. That would be a good experiment, but I'll need to think about how that would work in the future. Right, so let me know what does CTFS stands for, or I'll look it up later. So our thing is, we have these little parcels and I want to expand them. First, let's make them visible. Why is the background of this white? I expected that there would be like a beadsy white in one of them. Oh. But there isn't. Just randomly white? That doesn't sound correct. Oh. Okay. Right. So this will change correctly, but it won't expand. Let's give it a busy background. To see it better. Full roundedness. And then do we need the extra divs? Answer is no. On hover, I do think I have like some bright stuff. Maybe on the clipboard. No, that's a clipboard not working. Quite intense. So yeah, maybe not this. This seems to have like something similar. And we'll need an icon for X for sure. You think these classes are enough? 3 screens worth of classes. Alright, so that's done something. We don't want to see this. What we want is for this to appear nicely. I guess we could also be using like the hover card component. Maybe that'd be better. But hey. So if we don't do this, without these magic styles, what happens? Oh, we did it. That was it. Nailed it. But what would we actually have there? That's the question. It's a question for the ages. Its fellow component also becomes like this. I guess we can make that span like 2 columns at that point if it's open. We'll see, one thing at a time. So what do we want to say here? Do we want for its thingy, for its present to show something? How did we do it in the other one? Just the amount of kilos and then for the person. Maybe I should open that one. Balancer. It's this again. Ah, no, it says this. Okay. Or is it? Not sure. We'll see. Yeah, let's say that this is a UL. And then for each loadout presence as name weight, and you render this. You enter it. All right, I'm slightly worried what's going to happen when I press this. Not bad. Like automatically slides quite a lot. But this is the point where we can say text. Text base. Maybe that makes it smaller. Text SM. It doesn't look too bad. And maybe, like, would we copy this too? And have the style tag. This could be the presence, and maybe this is going to be here. Less gap. Is it? Are we doing anything? Don't think so. Ah, because it's the UL. So if this is the UL for the content, too many things change. Of course, the transition doesn't quite work. If we give this the presence class, all right, it's gonna kind of work, I guess. Do we just need like fewer letters? Just trying to think. So they make this get more rows. So first question, do we really need this if tag? The answer is no. Great. Like so long as we're in the if, the transition is going to happen. Great. Second question. Can I conditionally add class call span to? Let's see. If it's opened, so that's kind of what I wanted. When they're open, they get like more room. Which is neat, for sure. And it's just 2 enough. So we'd be getting 4. Guess instead of doing this, then this is magically deciding like the width of its present without me needing to specify the amount of columns, but we could just say that it's either going to be like 2 or 3 or 4. So not do this and say that this is going to be grid gap 4, but it's going to have grid calls 2 or grid calls 3 at some point, or grid calls 4. Looks kind of okay, because then I can come here and say well, it will be hard to do with the conditional classes here. So I'm just going to do a template thingy and say if it's open, then I'm going to be applying what is it? Call span 2, SM call span 3, and empty call span 4. Perfect. And just put curlies in this. Nailed it. All right. And if it's bigger, it's gonna get like all of it. Nice. It's not like amazingly smooth, but it's good enough. Good enough for me, that's for sure. If you want to examine them, you can. So when this becomes huge, we have some problem. Maybe we want this to grow all the time. Maybe we want this to have like a cap too all the time. And maybe we want this to have a margin. Yeah, looks decent. And what else crazy thing are we doing here? Not much. I think that's it. Maybe if this is open, does it have like a MY? Yeah, that looks better. All right, so let's bring in an SVG for the carré. It may be cool to have like a rotation instead. Yeah, this carré is nice. So let's see, can we just do it with this carré? And we want to apply transform X 90. Is that a real thing? $180. Is that gonna be it? Probably not. Z. Maybe. Okay. There must be a rotate like Telegram class. Rotate. Cute. And yeah, I don't know how. Like this. Maybe this is in a span. And that's the thing that rotates. Why not? Does it need to be like relative or something? No. Well, I'm surprised by that. So quite a lot of things here. I definitely want to flex this. And items center. And justify center. Kinda works. Not convinced. Not convinced. I do want this to be a button, is the problem. Why does it look so weird? Should be absolute positioning. At least it's flipping now, but I don't quite like it. So no secondary things. And then I think you can do like top half or something. Top 1, 2, left 1, 2. Kinda works. With full. This need to be flex. Not. All of this because I wouldn't use just a regular icon, and I want to use this carry. But seriously, what's that about? The world's ugliest button. Let's absolute position this to top 0, right 0. All right. Top half. Nope. Third. 1. All right, we got there. Kinda works. All right, we got to good enough, I think, with this. Oh, interesting. Oh, let's mess around. Okay, I think this looks good enough. So we've managed to produce some loads for Santa, and we will be wrapping up now. We can add like a stat of total trips, like total loadouts, like a number like that. Let's see. And we have like a stat component for something. So maybe we can use that. It's the health productivity dashboard. We can use this. So maybe we can take this and put it in components. So cut this in components. Let's paste it there. And our dashboard is Should be bringing it in from lib components. Still doesn't break. And we can have like a stat. We don't have that data. What are we talking about? Total trips. Let's go to our auto slate balancer and see this appear, hopefully. Expected something larger there, I guess. This would be on the 6 level. Thanks to Excel. 4 Excel. 6 Excel. And I guess the average load. But what would that be? Find it here. Or can we not? Let's see. Let's look at the server load method. Page load. Page server. So what are we doing here? We know the perfect loads, which we have 0, sadly. And which we may not use. And each one of them has like a weight, and we can go through all of them and loop through them to figure it out. Which may be enough. So let's see. So average load is gonna be this. I'm gonna trust that this is correct, but it's not. So this has like a weight, right? This is not going to be a sum. This is going to be average. I know it's going to be the sum. And then it's going to be divided by the amount of loadouts. Great. So that looks reasonable. All right. And we do this loop client side. I guess we could do it on the server. That's what I was thinking about. I mean, we could be calculating it in the reduce, but I think that's premature optimization. So let's do the server side. Not do anything on the client. It's going to be on the data instead. That looks nice. right, when you click the left one, like the expand effect is nice. Air, I'd say. Looks kind of cool. And to not do the calculation every time, we can set some headers as well. Have we set headers elsewhere? Yes, I've done it here. Let's get set headers from our load method. Let's write 1 day in seconds, but actually let's just do like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And cast this for 5 minutes. And I say that this is good enough. So are we building? Let's check for console logs. Let's commit. Let's even push this. But from here, my question was, can I build? Because we do have like 2 TypeScript errors. Will they be TypeScript warnings? It seems like we'll be able to build. That's nice. This is a bit too small for me to see, so I may debug it off stream. So any more questions? Now is the time to hit them. Ask them if you got them. We could be optimizing the auto load balancer to try to hit 100 kilos every time. But of course, like Santa is Matic. They can do like 1 more trip, it's fine. We could do another algorithm. So this is like the just naively adding them in order, but not going over the limit. We could be looking for like the perfect present in advance. We could be asking TPD to do it. I wonder if they'd be able to do it. Deployment has completed. Nice. Looks like it works. Nice. And we also have the Christmas card. Of course, we started with this drag and drop functionality, even though now I think it's easier to click. There is quite a lot of things that we'd want to do here, like the ability to reorder, it's the main one, and to remove it, like if you drop it outside, I guess you should be deleting it, but you can start over. I think that's good enough for now, though. Good enough for today. All right, all green, rebase, merge. Check the link in the description, and you can click around as well if you'd like. Let me know. There's quite a few cool things that we've done, not all of them on stream. Countdown to my puppy's birthday. But yeah. And of course, check out the advent of Svelte yourself. Even if you haven't started, maybe you can have a look around the challenges and be like, oh, this looks like something that will help me learn something that I wanted to. Maybe there can be an incentive for that. Or maybe you've watched one of the streams and you're like, oh yeah, I want to do it. like that as well. Either way, that's my suggestion. And the Morse code was a fun one, but yeah, the best one would be the memory game if the cards were more readable, which is brutal. Like 48 cards to match, and like, I don't know, it's like kind of like a 6, but not really. Like, how are these different? Because if you focus on like the S, it's like clubs versus spade, so they're quite smudged. But it was part of the lore, I guess, the deck of doubles, that it's quite weird, so it makes sense. All right, so I'd call it another successful stream. I didn't do the reordering, but we did do the load balancer and the extra loadout with the collapsibles, kind of like accordion functionality. But collapsibles is how MultiUI calls these things. These are different accordions. Against the accordion, it needs to be part of the same thing. That's what makes it an accordion. Well, if they are individual, then they're collapsibles. We won't be printing this out. We could be creating a new route that just has the things to print, and that's the thing with share. But I will leave that for offline. There are more cool challenges coming up. I have been doing like a couple per day, so I'm catching up. But they keep coming. So I'm not sure. I should be able to make it just in time to save Christmas. And that's probably what the next stream on Friday is going to be about. We're going to tackle a couple more challenges. Maybe the ones that happen to fall on that day, or maybe the ones that I find are more interesting, or something that we haven't solved before, something that I want to figure out. Like today, like the drag and drop, I wanted to figure it out and saw how it can be done with Svelte. And indeed, we did do it. This. And for the balance part, like I want to focus on this, like the expand functionality here, which we also did, and it was neat. The way I've done the columns certainly doesn't hide some things that could be a bit better. So this could be dragged along like with perfect UI, but yeah, that's too much. You could make this be absolute positioned or something. You could combine the pop-up, like you click and you see in a pop-up like the gift. That'd be another way to do it. But today I didn't want to show the pop-up, I wanted to show the collapsible. And similarly for Friday stream, if there is something cool that can be done with these incentives from the challenges, I'll pick it out and show it. Or if you have a suggestion, if you have something that you'd like me to show. I've been clicking around a lot of stuff, but my screen was stuck. Oh well, I was talking about the differences between collapsibles and accordions and all those things. And once again, saying that, oh, maybe we could have, instead of doing a collapsible, we could have done a popover like this. But I didn't want to show popovers. I wanted to show collapsibles. So that's why we did this trick. And I want to figure out drag and drop, and that's why we did this. Logically, the solution for this should be canvas, I'd imagine. That'd be the sensible way to do it. But I want to show drag and drop with the Svelte for reordering and stuff, and that's why I did it like this. Also note how the Vercel toolbar is getting kind of view transitioned as well. Kind of cute. Doesn't happen in production, so it's all fine. All right, I'm gonna wish you a lovely rest of the week. Friday stream, last one before Christmas. Like, not many left till the end of the year. Hope the holiday season keeps finding you well and that you'll have amazing time.